Lesson 6-1 deals with creating a worksheet. Before information can be used by our managers and owners, it must be analyzed, summarized, and reported in a meaningful way. So we are basically done with our journalizing for the fiscal period or for the month. Now it's time to prepare a worksheet. The concept consistent reporting is applied here. It's when the same accounting procedures are followed in the same way each accounting period. For example, 1 year, if you report the number of deliveries and the next year you report the revenue from deliveries, you cannot compare the information. So you want to be consistent in how you report. Most people or most businesses will report the revenue from deliveries or the revenue from your products. A fiscal period is the length of time for which a business summarizes and reports financial information. It's also known as the accounting period. A business selects a period of time that they will use to summarize and report financial information. And again, this is another concept, accounting period cycle. Changes in fiscal information are reported for a specific period of time in the form of financial statements. And again, each business will decide how long their financial or their specific time period of time will be. Financial statements summarize the financial information that a business records. The time period for which financial statements are prepared depends on the needs of the business. In accounting, it may be 1 month, it may be 3 months, it may be 6 months, or it might be 1 year, the fiscal period. For tax purposes, every business prepares financial statements at the end of each year. A fiscal period consists of 12 consecutive months is called a fiscal year. Delgado Web Services started their business on January 1st, so the end of their first fiscal period is January 31st. You can analyze, summarize, and create reports on any day of the month, but they are always prepared at the end of the fiscal period. So again, excuse me, you can use a fiscal period of 3 months, 6 months, or a year, but a lot of times businesses like to use the 1 month fiscal period because they can see the changes after 1 month rather than waiting for 3 months. A worksheet is an accounting form used to summarize the general ledger information needed to prepare financial statements. Remember, we posted into our general ledger. Now we're going to take that general ledger and summarize it into what's called a worksheet. The reason why you use a worksheet is to summarize general ledger account balances and to prove that debits equal your credits. So when you look through your general ledger, you want to make sure that your debits equal your credits, and your worksheet allows you to do that. Then you also need to plan changes to general ledger accounts that need to be brought up to date. And there's 2 accounts that we will talk about a little later that need to be brought up to date. And then we're going to separate the general ledger accounts according to their financial statements prepared. We're going to prepare a couple of financial statements so that the business owner understands what's going on in the business. And then another reason for the worksheet is to calculate the amount of net income or net loss for a fiscal period. We need to find out, did we make some money or did we lose money? When you prepare the heading of a worksheet, it's like all other financial statements that you prepare. The first item is the name of the company. The second line is the name of the report, and then the date of the report. You can see that a worksheet is going to cover an entire month or an entire fiscal period. So therefore you have to write 4-month ended because it's going to include information from the beginning to the end of January, and it's not on just a specific date. The total of all debit accounts must equal the total of all credit accounts balances. First of all, you're going to prepare what's called a trial balance, and this is proof of the equality of debits and credits in your general ledger. Information is taken from our general ledger, and again, just to review, in the last couple chapters, we had a journal and we posted that information into a general ledger. List accounts in the same order they are listed on the chart of accounts. When you prepare your worksheet, you're going to list them the same way they are in your chart of accounts. All accounts are listed whether they have a balance or not. So again, if they have a zero balance, you still list them on your trial balance. So you can see here, we've already prepared the title of our worksheet up here. We went through that before. Our first step is to write the general ledger accounts in the worksheet's account title column. So you're going to list all of your accounts according to how they are listed in your chart of accounts. Then you're going to write the general ledger debit account balances in the trial debit balance column. And then you're going to write the general ledger credit account balances in the trial balance column. You will roll a single line underneath there, because a single line means that we are going to add both of the trial balance debit and credit columns, and write each column total below the single line. And then you're going to rule double lines across both trial balance columns. And you'll see once these two balance out, you will double rule. If they do not balance out, then you have to figure out where you went wrong in your ledger.